lot of people get very upset at men, and so many conversations go on about what men don't do and what men don't have and these things. And it's such an easy battle to have. It's such an easy fight to have for a lot of women, especially. I think what a lot of people don't understand, men and women, is before we just get angry at what's going on, why don't we start asking more questions? I started asking more questions because my passion is to see men come back to themselves, not to authority or not to bossing people around or using these terms, beta male and all this nonsense. A lot of men are broken because they just can't find themselves. And the real question we got to ask is, why? Are they terrible men? No. Are you a terrible man watching this right now? No. Some of you women watching this, do you have a terrible husband? Probably not. Are your sons terrible? No. Are your uncles terrible? No. See, the truth is there's a lot of men who just weren't taught. I have a boot camp for men called Master Built Men every Sunday, 8 a.m. And we talk sometime about the younger generations of young men. And again, initially, the complaint comes, man, why they like this? The truth is, who taught them? And the answer is nobody. Because the biggest threat against humanity, and I don't think this statement is too big, the biggest threat against humanity right now is the lack of fathers. And when I say fathers, and I'm not just talking about a man who birthed you, I'm talking about men with the heart of fathers. Because when a man has the heart of a father, he operates differently than the common man. You want to meet an amazing man? Meet a man with the heart of a father. With the heart of a father. And I'm gonna tell you, you can be 20 years old with no children as a man and still develop the heart of a father. Some men, I think some men are even born with the heart of a father. And I know for me, I was growing up, I never even thought about, being married or any of that. I grew up with two parents, so that wasn't the influence it wasn't about marriage. When I became 13, 14, 15, all I could think about was being a dad, being a father, being a dad. Right? And at that age, I didn't know the concept of what I'm talking about now, but I think the point I'm making is even then, something in me wanted to take care of something else. See, and I think that's lacking in a lot of I can't just keep it to young men, because I've met old men that act like children, mentally, right? And again, we got to go back to the cause. A lot of men weren't taught what it means to take care of somebody. Because the heart of a father means, I think one of the biggest things that represent the heart of a father or identifying a father is his sacrifice. See, a father, his main thing is never to take. His main thing is always to give. My daughter the other day, a few weeks ago, she's in college now. She just started college, and she said, Dad, why don't you and Mom ever do anything for yourselves? And I looked and I've thought about it. I have 4 children, so I've been sacrificing a long time. 18-year-old twins, a 21-year-old son, a 8-year-old daughter, and my life when they were born became what am I going to do for them? How am I going to make their lives better? How am I going to give them what my parents maybe weren't able to give me? Right? So my whole life was sacrifice. And when she asked the question, it was hard for me I just smiled. Number one, because wow, my baby girl at 18 sees that her dad made sacrifices for her. That was big, because a lot of kids don't even come to a point of maturity where they realize how much it took, and not money, but passion and heart and stick-to-itiveness it takes to be a father. Right? So for her to recognize that made me smile. And then number 2, it really woke me up to say, wow, yeah, my whole life is y'all. My whole life is, if you need a pair of sneakers, I'm not going to get it. If you need this, I'm not going to get what I need from me, because the joy is knowing my children have it. Right? And in no way am I painting myself to be the perfect dad. I'm just using myself as an example because of that relationship with my daughter. But what I've learned about fatherhood is it's very sacrificial. It's everybody first. And we talk about that a lot online. People talk about this a lot online. Of men, we get tired because we do put everybody first. But that's part of fatherhood, is to put everybody first. And what happens is your kid might want a PlayStation, but your joy is to see them happy. Your joy, even though you're not your wife's father, you have authority in that home, and you also sacrifice to make sure she has as well, right? So the joy of a father is sacrifice, because he sees what his sacrifice does to his family, right? A father is also a teacher, right? And this is even deeper. A father is a teacher that understands timing. That there's some things you got to teach your children, but then the deeper part is to have a father that knows the timing of when he can say something. See, a lot of us feel like, hey, I can just say what I want when I want. That might be part of manhood, but that's not part of fathering. Part of fathering is not just having the tool, but when do I use it for greatest impact, right? It's when your kid really pisses you off and you say, you know what, they're not ready for this conversation, right? Later on, they will be ready. It's not that the conversation you have isn't good, right? It's that you're more concerned about their development than just what you want them to do. Fatherhood is missing in the world, right? And I listen, y'all might get tired of me talking about fatherhood, but God himself has revealed to me that that's the issue in the world. That's the issue in politics. It's the issue in education. It's the issue in the business world. Fathers don't think with a capitalist mentality. Capitalist mentality is all about what I'm gonna take for me, right? But and that doesn't mean that you have to have a poor mindset saying I have nothing or I don't want anything, right? Because surely as fathers we need something to take care of the things we got to take care of. But the mind of a father is not capitalist first. The mind of a father is, how do I stand all this up? And see, because money doesn't make you a better father, only the heart does. Right? Because you can be a present, absent father. Right? And I've been that. I've been that in my younger years of pastoring and traveling and preaching all around the world and being at everybody's hospital bed and burying my own daughter and my father and my mother. All the things I've gone through in life, I was so in the business of taking care of people and trying to build something so I can take care of my kids that I forgot to take care of my kids emotionally. See, that's worth another podcast, because I want to teach about present absent dads. I was a present absent dad for a long time. I had to go to my kids and apologize for being a present absent dad. The dad who was always there. Nobody could say I wasn't there. But I remember times where I don't remember years going by. I was there, but it was time. Years went by. I was blinded by my own pain, blinded by my own struggles, blinded by my own hustle. And I looked and I looked up, and my kids were 15, 16, and I said, damn, I don't even remember certain times. Right? Now do I have was I out at the bar chilling? No. I'm not knocking nobody for having a drink. What I'm showing you is work and drive took me a lot, took me, and pain and fear, a lot of it took me away from my children, even I was there, right? And then I had a dad also. My dad didn't have a dad. My grandfather walked out on my father when he was 3 years old. Right? He left when my dad was 3. So my dad's only, listen to me, my dad's only real, the stone that he put in was not about knowing how to take care of us. The stone he laid in was, number one, I'm never leaving. Number two, I'm gonna work hard and I'm going to give this money to your mother so she can take care of the family. I'm not going anywhere and I'm going to take care. So was my dad a perfect dad? As a kid, I'm thinking no. As a grown man, yes, he was. You know why? Because he gave everything he had to give. And I'm going to encourage you guys today. Give everything you have to give. You can't be the perfect father in your daughter's eyes or your son's eyes, because you don't know what perfection is in their mind. But I'm going to tell you, when they get older, they'll realize dad gave the best he had to give. Right? But you also run into problems sometimes with this. And the problem you run into is you're going to raise your children how you were raised until you confront the issues and how you were raised. You could have hated how you were raised. You could have completely hated how you were raised. But guess what? You're going to do the same thing to your children if you don't confront that. I promise you. Right? So what's becoming very important is find the gaps. What are the gaps? The gap in my life was my father wasn't really there for me emotionally, right? Strong man. He wanted me to be strong. He taught me to be strong. And guess what? The L's I took in life, I understood. My father taught me how to be strong. But he didn't teach me how to be vulnerable, emotionally honest. Because who taught him? Nobody taught my father how to do that. He never learned it. So what's my duty? My duty then is to give my children what he didn't give me, so that my children then can go give their children the next level. My concern in all places is fatherlessness. And the scripture that I rest my head on with this is, there's a powerful scripture, and I'll end here. There's a powerful scripture that says, be a father to the fatherless and care for the widows. And the scripture ends like this: that's God. Everybody wants to be like God. God gave men a direct way to be like him. Be a father to the fatherless. That means not only to your children. That's why I started out talking about the heart of a father. The heart of a father. Not only father to your children, but a father to the fatherless. And also taking care of the widows. That's God. Listen, I'll be talking about this, having conversations with y'all all the time. I'm going live every Friday, every Monday night from now on, right? For thinkers, for men and women that are thinkers. But we got to start talking more. The world has us in debate mode and even harming each other mode. How we heal the world, we get back to thinking. And that's what fathers do. They teach us how to think, not fight. I love you. Listen, yesterday is history. Tomorrow's a mystery. All you have is right now. So live in it. Live strong in it. And guess what? No fear, no shame, no compromise. Hit that like button. And thank you for hanging out with the Christian Wonders Podcast today. Yep. I love you. Peace.